Evening, good evening. Welcome to it once again. We are at it again. Kofifi Sports 97.2, where it all began. Thank you so much for joining us once again. Thank you so much for partnering with us. Thank you so much for joining with us. We are back with a bam with a jam-packed show. So much to talk about. Today is Wednesday. Not much action happening on the fields, but there's so much happening off the fields. We've had so many stories the past 2 days. It's been interesting. It's been okay. All is well. All is good. I'm excited. It's almost summer. Summer is knocking. I always speak about summer. I love summer. You can feel outside. It's not that cold. It's getting warmer and warmer and warmer. So much has happened today. So much has happened in the past 2 days. Stories came in left, right, and center. Hugo Broos announced the preliminary round for Bafana Bafana, the warm-up game, in preparation for the warm-up games, preparing for the World Cup qualifier and the AFCON, which take place in January next year, 2023. Good news to Serena Williams and husband. We'll talk about that as well. Cricket essay, good news for ladies as well, since it's Women's Month. Yeah, and more drama happening with the Saudis. So much to get through, so much to talk about. As per norm, as per usual, I'm never alone. The legend himself, football agent, football commentator, football analyst, football encyclopedia. Brajo, how are you, my good sir?
I'm fine. He's calling me a legend again. I'm 100% fine.
Cool. And I'm not just saying legend. There's a reason why I'm calling you legend. I didn't call you legend in our first few shows. But after hearing your knowledge and your travels and everything, you are definitely one of the legend, which is not recorded. We should actually do a documentary about you, Brajo.
We should do a documentary about me.
Yeah, on the work you've done and the lives you've touched.
It will basically be exciting.
Yes.
There's lots of things that God gave me the ability to do, especially when it comes to football. So I think that I did quite a few crazy things in football, and that have actually pushed me to where I am at the moment. And it's just the grace of God that is so important. We can leave nothing out but mention Him whenever we have an opportunity, and this is a golden opportunity to mention Him, especially when it comes to what you've achieved and what you want to achieve, and your ability to still be alive today and stand in front of the mic and do a sports show.
Speaking of God, it takes me back to the song that we opened with. It is a song by Ozilla and Nana Coyote. It's I'm Suffering. What basically they are saying is that they are suffering, they need the intervention of the man above. So Brajo said this song is dedicated especially not to mock them, but to show that he understands their pain and yeah. He says the song that we opened with by Ozilla and Nana Coyote, I'm Suffering, is dedicated to the Red Devils themselves and to the Loving Peace Nation, the Amakosi Glamour Boys. Am I right, Bajo?
Yes, it's two things that are close to my heart, and seriously speaking, I want to see Modifi do well.
Yeah, you've been saying.
Yeah, I want to see him do well. It's an opportunity because you only live once, and you get an opportunity. And Pizzo mentioned it. He said that when you get an opportunity, always try to give your best and always trust that you will do well. And you can only trust that you do well when you trust in somebody, and that is basically in God.
Of course.
So it's important. And Kaizer Chiefs is drowning at the moment. If you look at the way they are, and Manchester United also drowning at the moment.
Yeah, and it's sad.
If you look at where they are, and it's basically sad because it's two of the biggest team in the world.
Of course, no doubt. Maybe not the richest, but the biggest when it comes to following. That you can't doubt or argue.
It's two of the biggest teams in the world. You see.
Yeah.
And Kaizer Chiefs, you can say in the world, because Kaizer Chiefs is a big brand,
of course,
big team, and they definitely one of the biggest teams in the world. And they are actually run by a great man of football. Kaizer got right what very little footballers can get right,
Yes.
especially the ones here in South Africa.
Yeah.
Because who of the footballers other than Jomo owned a team? But who can own a team for 50 years?
Sure. And running it successfully.
Successfully.
Yeah,
And
yeah,
keeping it
as a top brand. Because
as
it's
a
still a
top
top brand. They may
as a
not be
top
doing
brand.
well on the form,
And Kaizer
right?
Chiefs were never relegated.
Of course.
Jomo was relegated thrice.
Yeah.
And came back.
I mean, you look where Jomo is playing now. It's disastrous.
You know, I'm gonna share something with you,
Uh-huh.
and you can go and Google it.
Okay.
Do you know Orlando Pirates was relegated?
No. I didn't know about that, Brajo.
Yes, they were relegated, but never went to the second division because they say it's the biggest team in the country. How can the team go down? They bent the rules for Orlando Pirates.
And then they started their new league, or what happened?
No.
So didn't other people protest?
Then there was an extra team.
Oh wow. Wow.
And crazy things happen.
That's SA football for you.
Yeah, crazy things happen.
So just as a learning situation for those who don't understand. So Brajo, that would be in the 80s when they were suffering financially. Because I understand there was a point in the 80s when they were suffering financially.
Yes.
That's when Sundowns gave them guys like Kapsadans, Bezel Kapsadans Steenkamp, and Bashir Mahlangu, I think.
No, Beshan was always at Pirates.
Oh, he was not given
No,
by Zola
yeah,
Mahobetsu.
and Kapsa Dance wasn't given to Pirates. He joined Pirates.
Not from Sundowns.
He joined Pirates. He was a Pirates player. He came from Sundowns in Pretoria.
Yes.
Not Mamelodi Sundowns.
Oh, he's actually a Pretorian, but not this one from
the original Sundowns.
Yes.
You know that the colored Sundowns was the original ones.
I didn't know that.
Mamelodi is a phone call. Came afterwards.
That's the one that was bought by some Indian guys?
No, Sundowns was a colored team in Pretoria.
Wow.
So the colored Sundowns is the original. And Mamelodi Sundowns is a phone call. It's the one that came out.
Now you see why I call you the encyclopedia, a walking encyclopedia.
So Sundowns was with great players like Inglesing, Tanti Julius, and all the great players.
I know none of them.
Yeah, you won't know them. You're still a small boy.
Speaking of Sundowns, Brajo, they are currently playing against Richards Bay. It's the 50th minute. They are leading 1-0. Scored by Junior Mendy. Seems like the train never stops, just keeps on moving. 58 minutes. I'm 59th minute now.
Now the train can never stop in situations where there's no emergency. There's no emergency because they're going to drive over Richards Bay. So there's no way. They will stop when they play a team like Orlando Pirates. Richards Bay have done nothing, and Richards Bay have done nothing. It's just that it's going to bring history for them, man.
For
Sundowns.
Yes. Can you please explain?
It's the first time that they're going to win 5 games in a row in the start of the league.
Oh wow.
So they've equaled their record with 4 now. Now they will today. So and the record will again go to Rulani.
So that's the thing about Sundowns. Now they as you said, they are relaxing and breaking their own records. That's all they are doing.
Yeah,
okay?
but it's records that Pizzo have set that Rulani can easily break. Pizzo, we must give credit to Pizzo.
No, definitely for the
because
foundation.
Pizzo have really smartly built in Sundowns.
Yeah. And on the same breath, we must also give Rolani credit for maintaining what Pito has built. And
what about Manova?
Here we go again.
What about Steve?
But what I'm trying to say, Brajone, now, factually, the history records, the history books, they're gonna say the coach that spent 17 games without losing was Coach Rulani. After he took over from Mangoba. The coach that won the league with 16 points is Coach Rulani. The coach that broke the record for winning 5 games in a row is Coach Rulani. What more can we ask for from Rulani?
Okay, if we compare longevity,
Yeah.
then who's there the longest?
Mangoba. Definitely Mangoba.
What did Rolani do?
I've just counted his achievements.
No, he jumped ship
to Pirates.
Yes.
Yeah, I remember.
So he was away for nearly 2 years.
Yeah.
You see. So Patrice is a good person. But then because of Pito. And Pito knew Rulani's ability. And it's also because he's the son of Jomo Sono's brother.
Yeah. No, that I know. And the Eric Sono, eh?
No, Julius Sono.
Oh, Julius Sono. Yeah. Oh, Eric Sono is Jomo's father. My bad, yeah.
Sono is Jomo's
my
father.
bad.
The son of
Julius Sono. Let me not even start with me and you and Rowan and Santons because we're never going to stop, Brajo. We're never going to stop. Brajo, it's international football time again. I'm looking forward. Coach Hugo Broos announced his 36-man squad, which is going to play on the 9th of September against Namibia and the 12th of September against DR Congo. I like the balance between the games. He even explained to Coach Hugo Broos. He says that he wants a team where he can experiment, which is Namibia first. Then he ends off with DR Congo on the 12th, a team that is strong. DR Congo has been strong in the past few AFCONs and I think they've really been not the best, but they've been trying and they're a strong team. So it's a 36-man squad, preliminary, not the final squad because it has to be 23, so this is just a preliminary squad. English is not my mother tongue, excuse me. Preliminary squad. Sorry about that. So Bracho, out of the squad that was announced, I just have 3 names that I want to talk about. It's usual names that we've seen in 1 or 2 editions, but 3 names I want to talk about. I want to say congratulations to Sipho China, the Orlando Pirates goalkeeper. No one knows if he's the number 1 or for his number 1, but he was in goal for most parts of last season. Congratulations for him. He finally got a call-up. He might not make it in the final 23-man squad, but just making it in the call-up now is enough. I want to say kudos to him. And then secondly...
Can I ask something?
Yes, sir.
Why do you think he will not make it in the final?
No, I said even if he doesn't make it, he might make it. I said even if he doesn't make it, but still kudos to him. Yeah, he stands a good chance.
Still a good chance.
Yeah.
There's only one goalkeeper that really did good work.
It's him, ne?
No, it's
Ronwen, obviously.
The captain.
I mean, I thought you said Pirates. Yeah, Ronwen Williams, of course.
You see, and it's open. It's open.
Yeah, he's the automatic number 1. Veli Motwa?
You cannot. Veli Motwa is clumsy.
True. Yeah, he's very erratic. You're right. He's got mistakes.
Yeah, it's clumsy.
Yeah. You're right. And then Innocent Mayela, Brajo. I'm sorry if I'm being harsh on it, but I don't think if I was Hugo Broos, I would call him in my team. Why I say that? He's not performing at Pirates. He's not playing at Pirates. The only time he comes is when to fill in. If maybe Pirates needs to secure their lead, then he comes in to stabilize things at the back. But I notice he's always getting call-ups. I don't understand why. And I would expect if it was a younger defender building for the future now, that would make sense. I've got a problem with that. I'm not saying it's a wrong decision, but personally, I would prefer someone younger or someone who's getting game time at their team than a person who's not getting game time at their team and is obviously a holder. What's your take on his call-up?
Who would you first prefer?
Instead of him?
Yeah.
To be honest with you, I don't have a name. I don't have a name, but I just thought there's someone younger out there who would definitely get a call-up. For example, at Pirates, I'd rather have Paseka Maku because they both play left wing and Paseka Maku does a better job than him.
Oh, okay. No, I just wanted to know who do you have in mind. Now you can carry on.
Yeah, I'll say Paseka Maku. And then the last one, an interesting story. A boy from Randburg United. His name is Ime Okon. His father is Nigerian, his mother is South African, but he obviously took the South African citizenship, hence he got his first call-up from Hugo Broos' team. He played for Randburg United, as I said. The chairman of Merit of Randburg United, Kevin Moody, is so proud. He even spoke on social media that he has put Randburg United on the map and is so grateful for him. So he's a super sports player, young, was bought from Randburg United last year in November. So far, he didn't make the team when he arrived, but obviously with the departures that have happened, with the departure of Dihlokwe to Kaizer Chiefs has opened space for him. So this season he's played all games that SuperSport has played. He's played all the league games, and he also featured in the MTN 8, although they didn't win. Now there, Bracho, I'm happy. It's a youngster, someone for the future. Now I want to see such collabs, not Mayelas and them. That was just my problem with that.
No, it's not a problem. It's your view, and your view is important.
True.
And
True.
it must be respected.
True.
It's really, really important, and it must be respected, because when it comes to the South African national team, he makes crazy selections, and he makes crazy choices.
True.
But he knows what he wants, and he contradicts himself a lot. Because when he came to South Africa, he said that he doesn't want to play with old players.
That's why I'm saying this even about Mayela.
He said he doesn't want to play with old players. He wants to play with youth. Then he played with youth. Then he was basically forced to bring Zwane and Co in, because he kept Zwane and Co out of the team because of age. Because of age. But then he was forced to bring them back, and they were former players. I can't understand why he did it, but he had his reasons.
Yeah, and every time Zwane has proven him wrong, every time he's called him up, Zwane scores. Have you noticed? Literally every time Zwane scores, he's called him up.
So he's got his reasons. He's got his reasons. The only statement of his that I don't agree with during his press conference is that he wants to play against a country like Namibia that is easy. So we want to actually experiment against him. It's nonsense, because if you look at the form of the Namibians of late, they play good football, and they're not walkovers.
True.
They beat big countries in Africa. So you cannot really say that they are a team or country that you can use to experiment.
But as he said many crazy statements,
Yeah.
He has said so many crazy statements. But judging from what you've seen since he started as our Bafana coach, do you see improvement? I'll be honest with you. As much as I don't agree with many things that he does, but I've honestly seen some improvement, Maybe we're not where we're supposed to be, but I've seen some improvements. I mean, there's now more youngsters. When Bafana, like the other day, we beat Morocco. Even when we played Morocco away in that qualifier, they beat us 2-1 after we scored first. But Bafana played that day. I remember a game when we played against Ghana, and then we played to a 1-1 draw. Then Ghana qualified because of the point that they had. Remember that game? Then Safa went to do a case, but we lost the case. I've seen such performances from the boys. It's youngsters now that are brave. That's just my judgment again. Do you think there's improvement in your observation?
I think there's little improvement, and there could have been much if he was just more focused. He's not more focused on the team. He's more focused on what he is doing to show the people what he can do.
True.
Because he's not even appetizing himself to go into a mode where he can spend at least time with the COSAFA team. And look at talent and play around. Not just pass the buck and go on holiday when it's COSAFA time.
True.
So I'm not happy with him when it comes to that.
True.
But there is little improvement. And it's so sad, and I'm going to say it, I'm saying this with the greatest respect. that after 28 years,
Yes.
after 28 years,
Mm-hmm.
nobody of the coaches, even foreign and all other coaches, and they paid them 100 times more than what they paid Clive.
Mm-hmm.
They couldn't emulate
Of course.
the late Clive Barker.
Of course.
They couldn't.
Yeah. And we still speak about 96.
And I'm going to say something. Not just that he won the FA Cup.
The AFCON.
I say the...
Yeah, I understand. So it's the slip of the tongue.
Yeah, the AFCON. Not
Yes.
just that he won the AFCON.
Mm-hmm.
But great players came out of his team.
Yes.
His whole... Do you know that his whole AFCON went to Europe? Yeah, Neil wanted to stay.
Yeah, because he was old anyways by then.
Yeah, Neil wanted to stay.
He was old anyways.
But all of them went.
True. Including the 16V himself.
Yeah.
Including the 16V himself.
All of them went out of the country. So that says a lot. And most of his players went to go and play in Europe.
True.
At the highest level.
Yes.
Not sub-Europe, like you go to small European countries like Belgium. They played in the EPL.
Because you looked at Philmon Masinga played for Bari. And by then, the Italian league was the best league in those days. Phil Masinga played for Bari. Mark Fish played for...
No, but Phil Masinga also played
for Leeds at first.
In the EPL.
Him and Kate never played. But then, after Leeds, Bari from Italy, that's how good he was.
He went to
the best league at the time.
Yeah.
You had Lucas Radebe at Leeds, who was the captain.
Yeah.
You had, as I say, Mark Fish playing for Bolton Wanderers.
Yes.
You had Eric Tinkler playing for Victoria Septugal in Portugal, which is a big team, still existent today.
Yes.
You had Mark Williams playing for Wolverhampton Wanderers.
Yes.
So those were not. You're right. No pushovers in those.
And Mark also went to go and play in Brazil.
Mark, when
he
also
went to go and play in Brazil.
Yeah, China as well. When he was resigning.
Yeah, and Andre
was Fulham, playing for Fulham. Yes.
Yeah, Andre was in the EPL.
Sean Bartlett, Charlton Atletico, the current coach of Cape Town Spurs now, Charlton Atletico, and scoring goals.
Yes.
And scoring goals.
Scoring beautiful goals.
Yeah. Hey, you're giving me goosebumps.
You see, and you mustn't forget the Turkish contingent.
The
Steve Compella,
Fanny Madida,
the Yaman Kalele.
Yeah.
A lot of them.
True. Hey, those were good times, eh?
Yes.
Those were good times. Times.
So nobody really gave us players that Clive gave us.
True.
And remember, Clive selected those players in his team.
Yeah. And it was given time as well, hey?
And look just at the glance. You must just look at the glance and look at. He doesn't have really the shine that Clive had, and that is important. I just wanted to show you that he did very little.
Not true. So far.
Yeah, he did very, very little, and he's here for long.
Yeah.
He's here for nearly 3 years.
Yes. He's been here.
You see, so
he's been here.
So that's basically my take on his situation. So there's a lot still for him to do.
True. And so I don't know what you're saying. He even undermines the SA media. Like if he has interviews, at one point he didn't even pitch for an interview. Mkandele took the punches. Do you remember from the journalists? And on top of that, he also criticized our structures. He says that COSAFA Cup is useless. He's just a negative coach when it comes to our football in general.
Yeah, that's the reason why Dr. Koza and the bosses of the PSL really don't want to be in his place. And sometimes that's militia from their side. Don't release players.
True. And they sabotage.
Especially when it comes to
COSAFA and stuff.
Yeah, to non-FIFA dates.
Yeah, like COSAFA is non-FIFA.
Yeah. When it comes to
the Chen as well.
Calendar dates, they don't want to release.
Understandably so. Bracho, let's take a break, take a deep breath, and we come back.
Must I take a deep breath?
Oh, you're not worked up today.
I will gladly.